Hey everyone, welcome back to another Kevin's Kreations here on Geektopia Island. I'm Kevin.
I'm Cardwell.
And we're back today to showcase another deck of the new set with the the 7th, and it's going to be super interesting. I was originally going to play this in the GP coming up, but I've since changed my mind and I'm playing something totally different, so I wanted to showcase this, and it's pretty awesome.
At least, yeah.
It is the Mono Black's rulers, you know. Sometimes you got to run Mono Black, and,
yeah.
You know, why not? But before we get into it, guys, we just remind you that we do have a Patreon down below, so go check it out. If you want our deck list early, if you want any new extra content, or access to our Discord, go check that out, and you'll find all that down below in that Patreon link. Also down below, you'll find our FOW Grimoire, which is our Force of Will database app for the game Force of Will, and it was super nice to get made, and we build all of our decks off of it and showcase everything through it. So just check it out, and if you're ever bored and need to like make something on the fly, you can.
Especially with everything out. Like we said, we're testing out a bunch of things and play testing all the cards with the app. So see what we like the best.
And with that, let's delve into Unrequited Love. So we are playing the two rulers, Sloth and Lust.
Yep.
Dante and our boy Asmodeus. First up is Dante, the Fallen Angel. He is energized for a black, judgment for a black, tag Fallen Angel. God's Art is Sloth, you pay 0. This card gains cards in all removed zones, and all removed areas and graveyards lose all abilities.
Simple as that.
Yeah, he's super simple. And then his backside, he did Judgment to a 7/8 with flying. Enter, search your deck for a card named Vergilius, Rebel Against Satan, reveal it and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck.
That card's just super good.
Yeah.
We'll get to it for sure.
He has one ability, and he does it real well.
Yeah, and that's all you need him for. As simple as that. And of course, we have Asmodeus as the next one. Judgment 2 black, tag Fallen Angel, and you must have exactly 60 cards in your deck. As your game starts, you may not have this card in your side deck. And if you're just coming from Magic, then this is no problem for you. So you can go ahead and do it. It'll be fine. And then he also has tap, banish a non-J ruler entity, put 4 1/1 counters on this card, remove the top 2 cards of your deck from the game, and the God's Art of Lust, 0. Remove the top 7 cards of your deck from the game, put X 1/1 counters on each J/Resonators you control, where X is the number of different names among those cards. Simple as that. He makes powerful, makes all your dudes really big and swingy. You know, maybe really lust for power for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And when you Judgment, he has flying. He's a 2/2, but of course with all the counters on him. J-Resonators you control with the +1/+1 counters on them gain swiftness. Tap, banish a non-J ruler entity, put 4 1/1 counters on this card. And yeah, he's good. You just want to kill things all the time. This will do it. For sure.
Yeah, at the start, like when it first was showcased, this dude didn't seem that strong, but the more that I see him and more I play with him and use him, I'm just like, that dude's a lot better than people give him credit for.
Yeah, because he says entity. You're just like, get rid of that addition, get rid of that dude, you know, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you have to start at 60 cards, but The first guy we have is Asmodeus Demon. It is 1 black for a 2/2. Enter, remove 2 top cards of your deck from the game. Put 2 1/1 counters on this card for each resonator removed this way. Remove a 1/1 counter from this card. Your opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So easy enough.
Yep.
This dude is really cool in a combo that I saw and I wanted to use because it's a really good combo. And I mean, if you're playing Asmodeus, you might as well.
Might as well machine gun your dude to death.
Yeah, and we'll explain it when we get through all the pieces.
All right, and the next one, of course, is you've seen this Neverend Fairy Tale Dragon. It's a 1-drop 10 or 1/1 flying. Enter, draw a card. This card gains +14/+14, and fairy tales you control gain eternal as long as there are 10 or more fairy tales in the field under your control and/or graveyard. Rest to recover J ruler you control, cards you control, and cards you own in non-field zone gains fairy tale to a turn. That means hand and also graveyard. So there you go.
Yeah, but the fairy tale ones that only matters are the ones in play and in your graveyard. Once you have 10 there, you get eternal on all your stuff.
And it's just really good.
Next is Spirit of Knowledge. It is a 1 blue for a 1/1. Enter, search your deck for a card, total cost 4 or more, reveal it and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck.
It's pretty cute.
This dude's cool because he helps you get the combo going, and I just think this card's really good now.
All right, and next one is Wall of Terror. It's one of my favorite cards actually of the new set. It's a 1 blue wall, 0/8. Discard a card you or target entity you gain barrier. Null, this card gains +4/+4 barrier and Bane. But just the fact that at any time you like, okay, discard this card, bye. Like, don't target me or that dude ever again. Don't target me or my son ever again.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Wall of Terror is insane. It does so much work for you. Next up is Frayla, the Dark Huntress. She is 2 black for a 7/7 Swiftness and Bane. Tap, target J Resonator against -6/6 until the end of turn. Revenge, tap, destroy target J Resonator. So she gets to kill a dude for -6/-6, or if you've killed a thing, which Asmodeus himself kills things, you get free revenge and you get to kill a dude.
Yep. So nothing surviving. Someone that is obviously my nemesis is Vala the Bewildering Mage. 2 blue, 6/6. This card may not be banished as a cost of a spell or ability. Enter. Switch to the control of this card and target resonator your opponent controls. You just steal a dude for 2, and no matter what it is, and they don't get it back after they kill this mage. So,
and even if they were going to get it back with Asmodeus, you just sacrifice their creature beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're like, cool, give me your dude, and then I'll kill it before you get this back.
It's just so good.
Next is Lars, the Sacred King. He has 1 white and 1 for a 5/10 with quick cast. If damage will be dealt to you, it's dealt to this card instead. And he has Awakening of Rest to recover J ruler you control, enter, heal, and astral ruler you control. Yeah. And that matters for Dante because we get to astral him really quickly. And this allows you to redo it another time.
Like even turn 1. And then you can just keep grabbing your dude, which is cute. Attendant of Asmodeus. It's a 1 green and 1 5/7. Enter. You may remove the top 5 cards of your deck from the game. If you do, recover 3 magic stones you control. Green, discard this card your opponent banishes an addition, which also really helps with Wolfgang. He's creeping up on a bit. And the fact that you just get free will.
Yeah, this dude alone allows you to play Lycion combo, but with creatures.
Yeah.
Because you just, if you chain those in your hand, if you have like extra of them, you just chain them. And you're like, dude, and then you God's Art, Asmodeus.
Yeah.
And then Judgment, Asmodeus, and then you're like, hey dude, all my guys have counters and they gain haste.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous.
It's pretty silly. We have seen that combo actually before in other TCGs for sure.
Next up is the Mimicking Beast. It is a green, black, and for a 1/1, enter, and it has Pierce. Enter, you may remove a Resonator in your graveyard from the game, put X1 counters on this card where X is the attack of the Resonator removed. And then you can pay a green and a black, discard this card, remove a Resonator in your graveyard from the game, put X1 counters on target dude where X is the number of power of that creature.
Yeah.
This did get eroded to say to target dude from the discard because it used to say on this, but
how can it be?
They changed it, so, but it is to target dude, and it is one of the pieces of the combo. Then it's really funny. We're almost there, so I'll explain it.
Vergilius, Rebel Against Satan. This is the one that we get on the God's Art. Swiftness, 10/10 for 3 black, or pretty much free. You may make a J ruler you control astral rather than play this card's cost. Cool. And then you can pay a black, choose one. This card deals 400 damage to target player or J Resonator. Or this card deals 400 damage to your opponent and each J Resonator your opponent controls. Choose this option only if this card is attacking. It has Fallen, and with the Fallen, it has Drain and Bane. So that first turn, you're just swinging in, destroying them as much as possible. And for you to be able to re-astral your guy and then Fallen, it's just good.
Yeah, this dude is super good.
Super awesome.
He's super strong in the format, and I think he's going to be around for a good while because he's really good, but he's not completely broken.
Yeah, exactly.
He's answerable, but he is very, very strong. Next up is Valentina, owner of the theater. She is 3 blue for a 6/10. Enter, gain control of all Resonators your opponent controls as long as this card is on the field. So it just literally steals everything. So you're like, hey, all of your stuff that you just played is mine. Thanks.
Ridiculous. Schrodinger, Weaver of the Fairy Tales. It's 1 green and 2. It's an 8/8 enter. You may search your deck for addition or Resonator or total cost 1 or less and put it on the field. This card was Awaken. You may search for both instead and then shuffle your deck. And Awaken, of course, is rest of recovered J Roller. Yeah, you control. Simple as that.
Scheherazade's really good because he gets you 2 different things with this deck because you have a lot of you essentially get to go get a Cradle and a 1-drop, which is really nice. So you can get either the combo piece or any of the other things to help you do stuff. Next up is Pricia, Seeker of Friends / Pricia's Big Show. It is a green and 1 for a 7/7 with enter, quick cast. Enter, search your deck for a Resonator with total cost X or less and put it on the field where X is the number of times you've played Pricia's Big Show this game. Then shuffle your deck. Pricia's Big Show is 1 green, quick cast, 4/2, put this card into its owner's hand as it resolves. So you essentially get to build this up. In this deck, you really want it to be at 3. You don't care if it goes higher. I mean, if you need to, you can, but you don't have to. And this is mostly just like a utility card to go get what you need.
Yep.
You're like, cool, in response, I'll go get this because both sides are quick cast.
I mean, with 60 cards in the deck, you have to somehow get what you need for the moment. And the next one, of course, is Magna's Guardian Beast. It's a green, red, and green. It is a 6/6 enter. You may search your deck up to 2 Resonators with total cost 1. Put put them on the field and then shuffle your deck. This guy's just super powerful and grabs all the little dudes
he
you
gets
need.
your little dudes.
That's it.
And in a world where this next guy exists, you have to have a way to play little dudes otherwise.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about is Geryon. He is 2 green, 2 black, and 1 for a 15/15 with swiftness, precision, and flying. Your opponent cannot play spells that cost 1 or less.
Oof.
And pay a green, remove this card from your hand from the game, cancel target spell 1 or less, or pay a black, remove this card from your hand from the game, destroy target resonator 1 or less. So this dude's really, really versatile because he's in your hand. He gets to be a kill spell or a counter spell for something.
Yep.
Or if he's in play, he says you just don't get to cast those. And I'm huge.
And I feel like he'll be in every single deck ever until they ban him or just the next he gives away. The next one, of course, is Avenger of Asmodeus. It is 5 green and 5 colorless will. He is a 10,000 with Pearson Eternal. When this card is put in the graveyard from the field from anywhere, put on the bottom of its owner's deck. But what else are we going to use him for?
All right, so this is the last piece of the combo that you need that I saw, and it's super funny. I loved it, and I was like, I'm already playing these cards already, so I might as well. So you need Asmodeus' Demon, Wall of Terror, the Mimicking Beast, and Avenger of Amadeus in your hand, okay? So you need Mimicking Beast and Amadeus, or the Avenger in your hand. And then you have Wall of Terror and the Asmodeus Demon in play. So you trigger the Wall of Terror by discarding the Avenger.
Yep.
The Avenger's thing triggers and puts it on the stack where you start to shuffle. And in response, you play the Mimicking Beast's ability of a black and a green, discard this card, remove a Resonator. So there is a point where the Avenger is barely in the graveyard and you get to eat it and put all those counters on the Asmodeus Demon, which essentially puts 100 counters on the Asmodeus Demon to just be like, then remove a counter, take 1, remove a counter, take 1.
Yep. And do it until your opponent dies, which will happen very soon.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It is definitely not my idea, but I did see it and I was like, that is fantastic, so I have to put it in the deck.
Right, exactly.
Because I was already playing Asmodeus Demon and Wall of Terror because both those cards are just really, really strong.
Yeah.
And I saw those other two and I was like, that's awesome. Because it's literally just a free, like, out of nowhere win con.
Yeah. And it just machine guns your opponent to death, for sure. Now, for the first spell, of course, we have the 7th boon. Asmodeus Holy Spear is a 1 white chant quick cast. Choose one. Remove all Resonator tokens from the game or cancel target God's Art. And this destroys Belial.
Yeah.
Just straight up destroys Belial.
It is mainly for Belial when you get there quickly, because if you have it early, you're just like, hey, cool, no, don't God's Art.
Don't.
Or remove all your tokens because I can.
Which makes you real sad.
Next is the Cradle of Biting Frost. It is 1 blue for an addition. Enter, you draw a card, and then whenever this card is put into the graveyard from the field, rest target non-magic stone entity your opponent controls. It doesn't recover during its controller's next recovery phase.
Yep.
It's just a super good way to help control, and you have a way to go get it with Scheherazade, so you get free extra value for it.
Also, to help with that, with Scheherazade is Cradle of Crippling Despair. It is 1 Darkness addition. Enter, draw a card, simple as that, and when this card is put in the graveyard from the field, your opponent discards a card. Cool. Thank you very much.
Next Cradle we have is Cradle of Fleeting Hope. It is 1 white, and it draws a card, and then whenever it dies, you get 2 4/4 flyers into the field.
Yeah.
So it just helps you get free dudes that you can give counters to with Asmodeus, and then just have free win con.
Secluded Fox Village. It's 1 Darkness addition. Enter, destroy target Resonator with total cost 2 or less, which will be very helpful. And it rest to recover a J ruler you control. Target Resonator you can controls Bane until end of turn, just in case you need to.
Yeah, so your Virgil, if he's just sitting in play, you can just tap, give him Bane, and then just ping things off.
Yeah.
Pay a black, kill everything. And then lastly, we have Cradle of Scorching Heat for the Cradles. It is 1 red, enter, draw a card. If this card is put into the graveyard from the field, it deals 800 damage to each J Resonator your opponent controls. This card is super good in Asmodeus because it clears the board for you. That's its whole purpose, and it gives you a free get rid of everything.
Yeah. This one, Illusionary Flower of Sorrow. It's a 1 blue addition. Enter, return target Resonator your opponent controls to its owner's hand. Rest to recover J ruler you control. Rest to target J Resonator. It doesn't recover during its controller's next recovery phase, and that is very powerful and slow. And it just helps you out very much.
Next up is number 13, Anti-Magic. It is a white and a green quick cast. Cancel target spell. Seal 4, you pay a white less. Seal 7, you pay a green less.
Yep.
So if you have Seal 7, you pay nothing for this card, and it's cancel target spell. It's pretty strong.
Super strong.
But it's not like super busted.
Yep. Light of Raise and Revive. It's a red and a white. It is a Mage Art with quick cast. Choose one, remove target non-J ruler, non-magic stone entity with total cost 3 or less from the game. put a Resonator with total cost 3 or less from the removed area into the field, and then search your deck for Regalia. We don't care about that. But the fact that with everything you're exiling or just removing from game, then you can just bring it back whenever on a quick cast even.
Yeah, Light of Raisin Revive allows Asmodeus to have an extra hand
Yeah.
because everything that you remove with him, you get to still trigger it.
Exactly.
And then finally, we have Asmodeus' Enchantment, which is just a super good chant. It is a black and 1. Put target Resonator from your opponent's graveyard into the field under your control. If this card is awakened, the chosen target gains swiftness until the end of turn. Awakening, rest, or recover J ruler you control. So for 2 mana, I get to steal your dude, and it's just mine.
It doesn't matter what the cost is, the power, anything. It's just like I get to have your big dude in the graveyard.
Yeah, and it doesn't go away at the end of turn or anything. It's just I get to have it, and if I tap it, rested, recovered, or rested J ruler, I get his swiftness.
Yeah. If you're playing Darkness, play this card. Don't matter anything. Just play it.
That's pretty good.
It's super good. Especially when they play the big 5-drop dragon we talked about and they cancel it with 1 green or whatever. It's in the graveyard. Be like, for 2, I get to have it.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
Next up for the stones, we have Magic Stone of the 6 Sages because it adds any color as long as you have an untapped ruler and you're playing 2 rulers. And then it auto untaps. We also have Imaginary Satan, the Magic Crystal. It adds a black normally, and if you have an astral ruler, it adds any color. So turn 1, you're always gonna have astral.
Super good.
So you play Virgil and you have him die, or you have Satan, Dante die, and you get astral. So you always have any color on those 2 stones on turn 1 or turn 2 usually. And the last stone we have is Etheopia, the Bloodstone. It is add a black or tap, banish this card until the end of the game. Play all God's Arts an additional time.
Nice.
Pretty cute. It is super easy to use all these, and the God's Art, this one is actually pretty nice because you get an extra additional Asmodeus trigger. It's not so good for Dante, but it is what it is.
If it happens, it happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just get an extra Asmodeus trigger of get 7 counters on all your dudes, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And like, it's amazing how many times I've hit 7 on remove the top 7 to get every counter because it has to be different names. But with a whole lot of 1 and 2 drops in, or like 1 and 2 of cards, you get 7 pretty easily. Overall, the deck was super fun to play. I'm super excited to just see what it can do and just see what else can be built out of Asmodeus because he's probably one of my favorite rulers of the set, but I also like to play a lot of cards, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But the deck list will be down below, guys. Go check it out and leave us a like down below and let us know what you think. We'll see y'all again next time.
Goodbye.
Later. Also, guys, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel, and then hit that bell for any future notifications that you have for our videos.
And we go ahead and give a big thank you to our fans for over the years, especially our Mythic and Above Patreon followers.
Thank you, Ryan.
With that, we love you. Thank you for your support.